I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I saw an article which was headlined, "Elon Musk plans to build an artificial brain so humans can one day gain immortality." I remember thinking that we as a species are just taking the piss at this point, aren't we? Like, doesn't anyone else seem to think that? Like, we seem to have entered this weird phase in history where more and more batshit crazy stuff is announced and nobody seems to notice. Like, just the other week, they announced that there's going to be the third mass shortage this month. But don't worry, because the man who spear tackled a child in a charity rugby game is going to sort it all out for us. I barely batted an eye at that. I just ploughed on, because I knew that there was going to be another mound of mental shite I had to get my head round the next day. I sometimes think we should just never have gotten to this point. Like, in my head, the world should have ended in 1963 with Kennedy and Khrushchev. We had a good run, but total nuclear annihilation seemed like a fair way to round things off. But then the weirdest thing happened. They called it off. I feel like the entirety of humanity at that point just went, oh, well, what are we supposed to do now? Don't worry though, because we found a lovely new way to round things off. It came in the form of Nixon, Thatcher, Reagan, Blair, Bush, a couple of devastating wars in places that none of those people ever really gave a shit about, the rise of super billionaires who are allowed to jolly off into space while we have to hobble to the shops with a bag for life and a metal straw. Humanity is taking the piss and nobody seems to notice. To be fair, why would we? We've got Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Pixar, National Geographic, who's wearing who, what's wearing what, where to go on a night out, where to find that brand new pizza place. The whole world diluted into this tiny glass brick which can lull you to sleep at night and whisper in your ear that everything is going to be just fine. But it's not! Do you know the worst thing is that I am just as bad as everyone else. Minutes after writing that last bit, I spent half an hour reading about how Donald Trump is going to build his 4th golf course in Florida, and it's only going to cost him half of his yearly salary. It worked too. It made me furious. It made me so furious that I decided to include it in this, rather than addressing the real problem, which is that we are still clinging to a system which is fundamentally unsustainable and designed to keep the weakest in society under the boot heel of the few. I am exactly the same as everyone else. I constantly crave distraction because I know if I stop and look around for more than half an hour, I'm going to realise how monumentally and irreversibly fucked we are as a species. That we are destined to combust. But to be honest, looking at the state of things, I no longer think I really care. I am perfectly happy to sit back and watch us fizzle out whilst we argue about left and right, up and down, backwards and forwards, because then it will mean I will no longer have to deal with the constant barrage of things that no longer make any sense.